The Joe Rogan Experience.
It's so great. I was talking to a guy who used to be in charge at Viacom, and we were talking about, when people do shows now, like, they'll pay Kenny Barris, or they'll pay Shonda Rhimes, or they'll pay Dave, Ellen, Chris, all these guys like $20 million. The writers get $100. Buddy of mine, Mike Schur, created Good Place and Parks and Rec, and he's getting $25 million a year for the next 5 years.
Jesus,
yeah, like
Christ.
And his shows aren't hits. His shows are picked up and successful, but they're not like Cheers, right?
Wow.
And I said to Doug Herzog, the guy from Viacom, I go, how much were you fucking guys making before? What were these companies making 20 years ago? Like, what was ABC making 20 years ago that they even Seinfeld said that he's like, I was the first one to get $100 million an episode. And I go, which is a pittance compared to what they could have paid you. And he's like, I know that now, but back then, $1 million an hour. What? What are you even going to do with it? And now it's like, what are they going to do with it?
Right.
What the fuck they were making $100 million an episode, but because it's a logo and a corporation, you go, well, that's what a corporation's supposed to make, $100 million an episode. Meanwhile, if a guy makes $1 million, you're like, what are you gonna? It's like this unfathomable thing. It's like where they get mad at basketball players and not the owners of the teams.
Yeah, and it's also that distribution model of like putting something on a network. There's so much fat. There's so many people. There's so many things that you have to pay.
Yep.
There's so many different places the money goes. It's almost like you have to make $100 million an episode for everybody to make out.
Yeah, but also, no, they don't. But also, they're still taking 90.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with all the revenues, with all like the all the mouths they got to feed, it's still like a huge profit.
But as a writer, don't you think that like investing your time and effort into a sitcom today, it's like, woof, good luck with that.
I don't, dude. I just started. We used to do the podcast. Me and Moshe did this podcast called The Champs. It was great, and now I just started one like a month ago called How Neal Feel. Look for it in your local things.
How Neal Feel?
How Neal Feel. That's the name of the podcast. Got a theme song, everything. It's very stupid. But I was like, why am I trying? I did a pilot like a year ago for a network, and they gave me notes, and I was like, oh, I forgot about notes. I forgot that they were going to give me notes. Like, like I don't. Just let me. That was always the thing that me and Dave got to with Comedy Central, and they finally left us alone after like 6 episodes, where I was like, let us show it to the audience and let them decide. We don't want to bomb. We want to bomb less than you guys do. Trust me. Trust me. You've never met two people who want to bomb less than me and him. And so they'd be like, well, we don't. And they're like, let's show it to the crowd. If they like it, then great. And if they don't, then we did this real world sketch, and they didn't. They were like, we just think it's a bunch of unfunny scenes back to back, and we were like, let's just show it to the crowd. And then we showed it, killed, and they were like, all right, we don't know what we're talking about. They literally said, we don't know what we're talking about. So do whatever you want.
It's a bunch of unfunny scenes.
What a fucking
God.
Yeah.
Oh, those people.
But that's I get that they feel like they have to do something.
Yeah.
But comedians are willing to like all our skins in the game. It's our hide every time. So why do you feel the need to like correct us? Or I don't mind if like a executive is like the first audience. Do you know what I mean? Or like, hey, your shirt's fucked up, whatever. Like a minor stuff. But it's like material wise, most of you are not good at divining what's special about somebody or what's an innovative segment, or you know what I mean? Like they don't even think about that. They're ambitious people who are just like working their way up a thing, and they're like, is it my turn yet?
Right.
I get to put my stamp on it now.
Yeah. Yeah. They want to add something even if it's irrelevant.
Like I had a joke when we were doing Half Baked. I'm going 2 for 2 with Dave, but we're doing Half Baked, and I said to Dave, I go, we should do a thing at the end where we should just say, hey, let us do whatever we want, and at the end we'll pass a hat around and you guys can take credit for something. Because ultimately that's what you want. You want to be able to take credit for something.
Right.
Well, don't fucking make us do it. I know you just want credit. That's all you want. You just want to feel good about yourself. You want to feel like I contributed to this thing. but let us do the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're like you, who just been, how long you been doing the podcast?
Almost 10 years.
Yeah.
It'll be 10 years in December.
You're going to do a big network show about, network anniversary special?
AM radio.
That's hilarious.
I've been thinking about taking over an AM radio station for the day.
That's so funny. That would be really fucking funny.
I wonder if they'd let me.